There are those who argue that golf is a good walk spoiled. Not so, says our Lee Cowan, at least in one very special case.
Tom Coyne has one of those jobs most would envy.
Turn. Oh, there it goes.
As a best-selling author and editor of the Golfer's Journal,
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here.
he gets to travel to and play
Whoa!
some of the most exclusive courses in the world.
It's not a bad perk of the job, Lee. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's played over 1,000 courses, including Augusta National Golf Club, home of the Masters, St. Andrews in Scotland, the oldest course in the world, and a Pacific-hugging Pebble Beach, which is where we met him.
There's all sorts of different places in golf. You know, there needs to be all sorts of different places in golf.
Most wouldn't argue that point, but just how different are we talking about?
Welcome to your worst nightmare.
For a guy who's been invited to the top clubhouses in the world,
I've never looked at that. Okay, yeah, don't go in there, anybody.
how in the world did he end up in this one?
Here's the card room. Oh my God.
Leaky roofs, abandoned mowers, mold as thick as the rough itself. And yet, locals weren't scared off, blinded perhaps by their love of the game. This is the Sullivan County Golf Club, a rural 9-hole course that opened back in 1925 here in Liberty, New York. It's a small town about 2 hours from Manhattan, up in the Catskill Mountains, where tourists used to flock during the Borscht Belt resort boom. The course even made headlines when a local pilot took off from what was then the 8th fairway for a daring transatlantic flight to Denmark, hence the logo, a nod to both its golf and aviation history.
I think I started caddying when I was 15 or 16.
Dan Jan's family has been here so long, there's a street named after them. The club championship board boasts its fair share of the family name, too. But over the decades, as the tourists took their clubs and money to fancier courses, things at Sullivan County were left to the locals to keep up.
Well, it was going downhill a little bit. Basically, I think we were maintaining it ourselves.
Eventually, there were more deer than players. In 2023, the unprofitable but still golfable 170 acres went up for sale.
I fall in love with golf courses pretty easily.
The only greenskeeper left, self-described turf nerd Sean Smith, feared that would be the end of an era.
It's always been the local course on the edge of town. It's kind of always been for everybody.
That brings us back to Tom Coyne and his golf writing. Sean was a fan and reached out to him, and the two got to talking about the course. As a writer always in search of a good story, Tom took the bait and came up for a visit.
It looked like a place that was ready to close.
So this is the first hole, which comes down.
Still, there was something about it, he says. It had none of the trappings today's golf often has. There were no tee times, no valets, no swimming pools or tennis courts, and there was certainly no attitude.
We couldn't be less stuffy. We are not fussy. You don't have to get dressed up. You just show up, bring your dog, and go play golf.
Purists might argue that's the way golf ought to be. Wild fairways, kept like a bad haircut. Nothing manicured, but playable and accessible to anyone. And that's the story Tom wanted to write. And he has, in his latest book, A Course Called Home.
I've been consuming golf my whole life, but what if I got on the side of actually providing golf? That would be different.
Just how many course owners do you know who mow their own fairways?
Yeah, I like that.
Long story short, Tom asked its former owners to let him run the course for about a year, along with Sean Smith. And if together they could turn it around, Tom might just buy the place. Obstacles weren't strangers to either one of them.
I recognized a kindred sort of golf sicko like myself, you know. So we bonded on that level. There was also connection there in that Sean's sober and I'm sober. And I think people who have gone down that path and know what that experience is like, there's a connection there and an understanding with someone that is pretty meaningful.
It really became something that we forged kind of a trust around quicker than maybe two strangers would have otherwise. I guess he probably feels like I trust him a lot too.
Yeah. At a ridge here.
Together, along with his golf course architect, Colton Craig,
The tee here that's drawn here.
they set about rerouting some of the holes to take advantage of the topography and the views. They also put in a putting course and a driving range. The goal was to make the course attractive for folks to travel in from outside the Catskills, but keep every bit of the Catskills in the course.
But this has to remain a rural Catskills, Sullivan County golf course. That it has to feel like that. It has to feel like you've gone. Yeah, it has to feel like you've gone somewhere else.
All of that, and you can still play for less money than you might spend on lunch.
You're not sure who came in on a first-class flight and who's the local school teacher. And everyone's just there for the love of golf and the love of camaraderie.
As word got out of the rescue effort, remarkable things started to happen.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole!
Caddyshack's Bill Murray and NFL star Jason Kelsey both came on as Tom's partners. Before long, applications for memberships were coming in from far and wide. Players, Tom says, who would likely never set foot on his greens.
For folks that have joined just for the sake of joining, they're enabling people to play golf who wouldn't have a golf course otherwise. I think that's a beautiful thing about the golf community. You know, it's not just about my golf, it's about our golf.
These days, when he sees the ground crews at premier courses like here at Pebble Beach, he's both appreciative, but also a little jealous.
I even covet a pile of dirt. Because that's a good pile of dirt.
It's all part of the game he never saw before, and now he has. It's not golf that's taken on more significance. It's all those who make the game possible.
Golf doesn't let you hide. You know, I've seen some very powerful or famous people look very normal after about 2 holes.
If you had it to do all over again, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And for one simple reason, it's because of the people that it's put in my life. This was something where I absolutely got to be part of a team who wanted to make something good in the world. What a gift.